Part 3, intercepting the glide slope from above. We're downwind at Muscat. We're at 5,000 feet and on vectors, and we have been told to expect turn to base soon. So we are going to start to configure now for our flap settings. Flaps 1. And set, flaps 1 speed. Flaps 5. Flaps 5 speed set. We're looking at the ILS DME and looking at all the tools that we have, realizing that we're going to be high on the approach, so we want to configure, as we mentioned before, to final landing flaps and the gear down early. As we mentioned before, in the little formula, 3 times your altitude above the ground should be your distance from touchdown on a 3-degree glide slope. So if we just look at the DME now, we're coming up to 12 miles. So 3 times altitude, our altitude is 15. So we are only 12, so we would be high if we turned. So we're anticipating that. So let's start our turn now and gear down, flaps 15. Flaps 15 speed, set. We can see that we're above the glide slope. So let's configure for landing flaps, flaps 30. Rear F30 plus 5. 145. Speed brakes armed. We're high above the glide slope. We can see that right now. All right. We'll use the VSD as we saw in part 1. But remember, the VSD is just a tool. We don't use it to navigate on. It will tell us our position. So left turn, heading 135 degrees. And on that heading, intercept the localizer, and upon intercept, cleared for the ILS approach. So that's the clearance we received. So we can arm approach now. We have the LNAV Vorlock arm for the roll mode and glide slope arm for the pitch mode. We'll be monitoring that. Further left to a heading of 130 for the intercept. We've intercepted it. And now we can select a lower altitude, as we mentioned before, 1,100 feet. Select VS and select a rated descent of 1,500 feet per minute. And we want to monitor the operation. Here's our rated descent, and there's the glide slope beneath us. We are configured for landing, and we want to intercept the glide path prior to 1,100 feet, which is 1,000 feet above the ground. Let's just have a little boo outside and see what it looks like. There's the runway in front of us. We are high and we are regaining. We want to make sure we regain our path. Now, if you look at the VSD, we've got still 2.7 miles. It looks like the VSD will have us intercept before the final fix. Let's see what happens. That's where this tool is invaluable. It's showing us, so we may want to increase just our rate of descent just slightly here, just to facilitate the actual intercept so we don't have to go around. So we are coming to the glide path, and the VSD is indicating that we are coming to the glide path. We are back to final approach speed. We are configured. We are regaining the glide path, and we are still not 1,000 feet above the ground. Glide slope alive. We're monitoring it. We're getting very close to the glide path. Looking good. Looking sweet. Looking sweet. Once we are on the glide path, we'll set missed approach. Glide path capture. We got it. That's how you do it. And our landing flap should be flaps 30, and we'll set the missed approach to 6,000 feet as we did before, and go back and monitor, and we're looking good. That's how it's done. It's the anticipation of what's going to happen and knowing where you are. And of course, the heading bug should be the runway course. We should have set that a little while ago. We'll make sure it's done. And for the follow-up. So looking good. And exercise is complete. Let's have a look outside. There we are, looking good. 2 red, 2 white. Thanks for watching. That's the end of part 3.